Hello everyone! Today we are going to read Mr. Lee's virtual class. Are you all ready?
Yay!
Alright, let's count down from 10.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hooray!
Mr. Lee teaches a first grade virtual class. A virtual class happens when all the children learn through a computer from their homes. Mr. Lee misses being with his students in person, but a virtual class is the best way to keep everyone safe during a pandemic. Even though the class is not taught in person, everyone can be seen on the screen. Mr. Lee welcomes his students. Good morning, class. I am so happy to see you all. Before we start our class, it is important that we get to learn more about one another. Today, we are going to discuss our traditions. Alir was a little confused, so he asked, Mr. Lee, what is a tradition? I am so glad you asked, Alir. A tradition is something special we do with our families at home, Mr. Lee replied. Everyone has a different lifestyle. We can even see this by looking at everyone's room. Ling has a pink room, Nadia has a green room, and Marcus has a yellow room. They are different colors, but rooms are still rooms. Ling became really excited. Whoa, that's so cool! May I please share? I would like to tell you what I do with my family. Of course, Ling, replied Mr. Lee. But first, I need to give you all an assignment. I will allow you 15 minutes to draw a picture that shows a tradition you do with your family. Can you do it? All the children nodded and happily said, Yes! All right, let's begin. After 15 minutes, Mr. Lee asked everyone to put their crayons down. Okay, class, time is up. Ling, since you politely asked to share earlier, I will allow you to go first. Ling shouted, I drew a picture of the Qingming Festival, which is a special day in China. Ling, why don't you tell us more about this holiday? Mr. Lee asked. Ling then said, on this day, we get together to sweep the tombs and remember our ancestors. Also, we enjoy the first colors of spring. I stuck a white flower on my great-grandmother's grave. My mommy says we do this to honor her. The class was amazed at what Ling said. After hearing Ling's story, Alir smiled with excitement. My culture has a similar celebration. Mr. Lee said, Amazing! Can you tell us, Alir, what this celebration means? In Albania, we celebrate the beginning of spring by decorating albracanis with flowers. We also cook very sweet cookies we call balokume. The children loved Alir's story, and now they all wanted some cookies. Then, Eden spoke. Teacher, can I go? Can I go next? Of course, Eden. Can you show us what you did, please? I drew the new year of the tree. In Israel, we call this Satub Shavat. On this day, me, my mom, and my dad plant a tree to protect the environment. That is a wonderful painting, Eden. Thank you very much for sharing it with us. Taking care of the environment is really important, Mr. Lee explained. Nadia is amazed by her classmates' paintings, so she shyly raised her hand to show the drawing she made. Mr. Lee noticed and asked, Nadia, can you show us what you painted, please? This is Sham el-Nashim, a holiday we celebrate in Egypt to welcome spring. On this day, people often go to parks and watch and admire nature. We also dance together and have a fun time. Amazing! Next up is Hector. Hector, what did you draw? Asked Mr. Lee. Hector hesitated. I drew a picture of a special family dinner that happens once every year. What is a special dinner for? My mommy taught me that this dinner is held to honor our family members who have passed away. In Spanish, we call it Dia de los Muertos. Hector smiles at the picture and tells the rest of the class that this dinner reminds him of his grandma who once lived in Guatemala. Oliver went next. Yes, my parents are from Australia. Every year, we fly out to Australia and celebrate the Chungu Festival. My family throws a big party and we paint our bodies and wear cool clothes. What is your family celebrating? Mr. Lee questioned. We are celebrating the traditions of our ancestors to honor the culture they have passed down to us. That is amazing, Oliver. Who would like to go next? Mr. Lee asked. Miss Jenna, Alicia's translator, spoke for Alicia. Mr. Lee, Alicia would like to share about her drawing as well. Oh, but of course. Alicia says that in her home country, India, her family also have a festival where people come together. It's called Diwali, and they light lots of candles and place them all over the town. Alicia says they do this to celebrate health and happiness, Miss Jenna explained. I love that, Alicia. It is very important to be thankful. Thank you, Mrs. Jenna. All of a sudden, Jeffrey spoke with excitement. I drew a mask! I drew a mask! The mask is lovely, Jeffrey. What does it mean? Daddy took me to Italy once, and we celebrated Carnevale. It is a carnival where everyone decorates their own masks and celebrates being together. Do you like my mask, Mr. Lee? It's a wonderful mask with very beautiful colors. Thank you for sharing. Marcus, you're up. Marcus was excited to share. Okay, I drew a picture of a Juneteenth celebration. On this day, my family and I celebrate the freedom of my ancestors who were slaves. We honor our ancestors because they were so strong. Wow, that is very touching, Marcus, Mr. Lee answered. After everyone shared their stories, the children became really happy. They laughed with each other and pointed at their own pictures. The children loved hearing about everyone's life. Thank you for your participation. Before I share my screen, I need everyone to listen to something very important. Today, you all learned that people come from different places and celebrate different things. Isn't that cool?
Yay!
The children nodded and happily said, Yes! Hector spoke loudly. That is very cool. And Eden quietly shared, I loved hearing your stories. I am glad you all enjoyed the activity. It is important to understand that being different is very beautiful. Everyone, please pick up a crayon. If each one of us took our single crayon and drew a picture using only one color, it would look a little dull. Now, imagine if we all used our single crayons to draw a picture together. It would be a beautiful drawing, right? The children nodded with excitement and yelled, Yes, it would be very beautiful. Finally, Mr. Lee shared his screen and another special learning experience started at Mr. Lee's virtual class. Being different is beautiful, and when we are different together, we are like a rainbow in the sky. Thank you for reading Mr. Lee's virtual class with me. You can find free downloads of this book in English, Spanish, Portuguese, German, Armenian, Italian, and Hebrew at www.theheirsofourways.com. Thank you for listening.